Good evening, everyone. I am industrious billionaire Marcus Ross West. This is my loyal manservant, Ho Chan. And we're coming to you this evening with this fantastic opportunity for investment from an undisclosed location in the Central American jungles where I have my private libraries.
My God.
How many people can we offend with these openings? That British guy said the one I did was funny. All right, so anyway, we're back. Psychedelic Experience, another record run.
Yeah.
We got some beverages here.
Yeah.
And we're trying to keep cool. We mentioned Central American jungle. It is warm in this room right now. It is, we're technically still in summer, but this should be fall weather, and man, Harvest Patch Shandy is the only thing making it feel like fall right now.
We are glistening. Our foreheads are shiny.
All right. Should we get to it?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm up first.
You are.
And actually, I think I got a lot of these, about half of them in Wisconsin when I was coming back from New York.
Oh, wow. So March, April?
March. Early March.
Nice.
But anyway, this is one I held on to because I know you're a fan of it.
I am.
This is a promo copy. In fact, it's got a little tracks to play sticker there on the front of Jade Warrior. Is the gatefold there. Interesting proto-prog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very progressive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If the cover didn't give it away. There is one of their albums, one of Jade Warrior's albums in the Mojo collection, but it's the one that's all instrumental whale sounds that they created digitally, or early electronically, I should say. So yeah, Jade Warrior, I don't love it, but it's an interesting thing to have, and I think I know I didn't pay more than $15 for it.
Nice.
And record looks good, and it is white label promo, Vertigo label, so
money shot.
Eat your hearts out.
Alright, I am showing stuff from the June St. Louis Record Show, and then once that gets through, we'll start showing some real gems. But it was a pretty good show then. I got some good stuff. I'm really happy with my pieces overall. A couple of things, though, that were like, I don't know if I want to keep this or not. First up in that batch, the 7.
I want to know what you think about this record, because I have almost popped on this in a couple situations.
It's a cheapie. I'm sure I got this for like $2 or $3. I did not pay much for it. It goes for like $6 online, so it's not a pricey album. The album is titled "The Song Is Song, The Album Is Album." If you look at the credits, there are some trombones, there are some saxophones, and that's always like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it going to be Blood, Sweat, and Tears-ish, Chicago-ish? Some horn rock. It's jazzy rock. I don't know if there's out-and-out psychedelic tinges to it or anything like that, but it's interesting jazz rock. The track Song is probably the best thing on here. It's 4.5 minutes long. It's really good. Everything on here is like, that wasn't bad, but there's nothing that stands out. There's nothing real memorable about it, so it was one of those like, if I ever do another purge, I don't have to keep this. But that mindset of like, well, I like the 60s and I have that album now, I may hold on to it. So it's staying for now, but it's not great. It's not killer.
Another one I got at that same hall. In fact, the place I bought these at, I know closed over the summer. It was a place called Mantiques.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
And they just, they couldn't keep their doors open. But the guy who ran it was a great guy, and boy, I hope they get something back together. But anyway, another one from that hall, Slade's self-titled album.
Nice.
I'm trying to get no glare here, but Slade's self-titled. It is a little bit hard. It's on that Cotillion label. I like it quite a bit. I know that the live Slade album is kind of the one that you're supposed to pick up, and I've seen that a bunch, and I just never wanted to pony up the $15 or whatever for it. I want to say this was $6 or $8.
Nice.
It was nothing. Disc is in great shape on this one, and again, that Cotillion label, a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah, definitely. In a very similar vein to the 7, this is Bethlehem Asylum, Commit Yourself. This is also kind of jazzy rock. There's maybe a little bit more of a psych influence on here. It's a little bit softer, floaty. I don't know. I'm not good at describing things. I don't have good musical terms to pull from my back pocket. But again, some horns on here. There's some flutes on here that make it a little more floaty. I like this.
Floaty.
Yeah, I like this a little bit better than the 7. Again, though, this is another one that's like, good, not great. I couldn't tell you a standout track from it. Some long jams, though. The closing track on side 1 is titled Earth, almost 10 minutes long. Sea Rider may be pretty good. I can't remember specific tracks that are good, but overall this wasn't one you put on and you're like, oh, that's awful. It was one that was like, oh, not upset I listened to it. Don't know when I'll pull it out again. So, yeah, one of those.
All right, and then one more find for me that I picked up in that Wisconsin store, $7, Captain Beefheart.
Nice.
Yeah, this is Blue Jeans and Moonbeams. I wanted to get that title right because it's kind of a mouthful. Not the best Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band album. Still some good stuff on here. I really like Same Old Blues, and Pompadour Swamp is the one that is, in fact, I would say Pompadour Swamp is his most New Orleans feel. Kind of gets into a Dr. John area.
Very cool.
A little bit. We've played it on the show, but this one is, I want to get the year right, 1974. So when you get to the mid-70s Beefheart, yeah, it's not all fantastic, but it's still Captain Beefheart.
Of course.
So it's better than most music that was released that year before his early 80s resurgence. But I definitely am glad to have this one, and I do like that Pompadour Swamp track quite a bit.
Nice. Awesome.
Pompadour Swamp.
Alright, get into a little bit better stuff here. This is Houston Fearless. This is one I knew from Endless Trip. I'd seen the picture a bunch, and it always kind of caught my eye. I've never come across a copy in person, and this was, I think, $4.
Oh, must.
Cover's not in great shape. You know, there's some edge wear and stuff, but the record's in pretty nice shape. It's pretty good. This is kind of harder bluesy rock, little bit psychedelic. Again, more kind of straightforward electric blues rock, but done in a really cool fashion. They do a cover of Guns' Race with the Devil, so kind of gives you an idea that it's going to be kind of hard rock. There's a couple elements on here that are a little bit religious in tone and lyrics, so I'm not really sure. That's the kind of thing that throws you off with something like this, where it's like hard and heavy and then they're talking about Jesus. I don't know, it's kind of weird. And on a major label, Imperial, small label but major.
You know who was the ultimate rebel?
Jesus. Jesus is just alright with me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is pretty good stuff. Again, not like great, but this is a solid, like, I'd listen to a few tracks off of that again. Like, I'll pull that out every once in a while, so pretty good, pretty good.
You don't need a thing to eat.
Alright, so I told you in our last vid, I did a little teaser in the business about new record store that opened up here in Decatur, Speakeasy Records and Oddities. Really cool place. Brian, the guy who runs it, from behind the counter, just great dude. But some gems I picked up before most people got there. That's In the Shrink, baby. That's Blues Magoo's Electric Comic Book. Yeah, it's a pretty darn good album.
It is.
On that nice little red Mercury label. But the real honey hole in this one is the fact that it actually has the comic book.
Oh boy. It's pretty cool.
It is. I showed it to you already.
You did,
right?
yeah. I don't have the comic book in mine.
I can't get it out now. Oh boy.
It's probably, it's
not frequently. Most of the time it pops out when it shouldn't. I don't know what that means. Alright, so it's got the comic book in there.
That's cool.
And I love on the back the ads for the Psych D-Light.
I want one.
Oh my gosh. You can also get like the Blues Magoo's songbook and things like that.
That's really cool.
Oh yeah. This is...
Love that.
Primo.
That's awesome.
Primo cool.
Alright, jumping out of the mediocre into the mind-blowing. Here we go. Just jump straight into it. This was $8. Very happy with that price. This goes for a little bit more. Again, there's some edge wear and things like that, but this is Friend Sound Joyride. And it may be reversed. I can never remember which is the band name, which is the album name. This was produced by Brotherhood, which was guys from Paul Revere and the Raiders that had made some albums.
Okay.
They produced this. This is nothing like the Raiders or Brotherhood. This is music concrete. For the most part, very, very avant-garde outside of the track Joyride. The title track, it opens the album. It's one of the best acid rock songs I've ever heard. The guitar is just searing, it's deep, it's trippy. There's a bunch of stuff. Childhood's End and Child Song have like field recordings of playgrounds going on. There's...
Creepy or cool?
Cool.
Both.
It's still a little weird though. But this it's a weird album. It's one that could only have been made in the 60s and released on a major label. No, this is great. Seek this one out, seriously. This, if you're looking for weird stuff,
This
you
is
found
weird.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Another one that I've been wanting for a long time after I finally got into the Paul Butterfield Blues Band.
Yes.
Finally grabbed a copy of East West. I think this one was $12. It's in pretty good shape. Man, it's just fantastic blues music. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's great Chicago blues, interracial band, multiracial band, however you want it. What's the PC term for that these days? Oh man, I mean seriously, Elvin Bishop, Mike Bloomfield.
Yeah.
Those two guitarists were pushing each other to another level, and the title track on this is just
my gosh, it's
amazing blues jam psych.
Yeah.
So pick up a copy of East West. I've slept on it before. I wish I had, and I wish I'd gotten this a lot earlier, but I'm glad I have it now.
Yeah, for sure. Checked a big want off my list with this one. Love this group. Salvation. This is their second album, Salvation Gypsy Carnival Caravan. I would love to find their first, but it's too tough to find in a price range that I want to pay. The back cover there, pretty cool. There is a tear there. I don't know what happened there, but otherwise, in pretty nice shape. And the
I remember you buying
excellent.
this one. Did you get this from our guy Ari?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Ari, very nice guy. Has a lot of cool stuff. I got this for like $20 or $25. Pretty much what it goes for, but it's one I've wanted forever. And this is cool, heavy psych. Salvation Jam is the jam, and it's great. This is fantastic.
So is Salvation.
Yes, it is. Jesus is just right.
Oh yeah! Last one from Speakeasy. It was one of those things where I saw it in the bin and was like, well, I'm buying that record today.
Ooh.
There's pretty much no question that I'm going to grab that hunky dory.
If you showed me that, I forgot you had it.
Oh man, I'm really, really happy to have this. I did
That's awesome.
paid up a little bit for it, but with bundles and everything, I felt totally comfortable.
Yeah.
It's Black Label. It's
Nice.
second edition. The first label came out on the orange RCA. But this was, I want to say, originally it came out in 71, and this is like a 77 press.
Nice.
I mean, it just, at that point, I just don't think it matters that much to
Exactly.
me unless, there's some different element of the first press. But
Yeah.
Hunky Dory, for me, it's a shade under Spiders from Mars,
Okay.
Ziggy
all right.
Stardust, but only a shade.
Yeah. Nice.
And when you consider that these were consecutive albums from this artist,
You're right.
you realize why David Bowie is the definition of rock star.
Yeah.
In every way imaginable. He just, boy, at this period he could do no wrong. This is early 70s, just freaking amazing, glammed out rock and roll.
Yeah.
Changes, Oh You Pretty Things, Life on Mars.
Man, so good.
Oh, it's just a killer. Queen Bitch is on here.
That's awesome.
For you, David.
Alright, this was my find of the show. I had actually just been reading about this album like the week before in the Endless Trip and was like, oh, I really would like to find that. And looked it up, was like, oh, I'm never going to find it because it's way out of my price range. Then I'm digging in a bin and I see it and I'm like, oh man, this guy has this record. Oh, and I can afford this. He had a $45 asking price, which is more than fair already. And I got it a little bit cheaper because I bought a bunch of stuff from him, just been bundled. This is Bob Smith, The Visit. This is phenomenal. This is so good. This kind of touches on a bunch of different subgenres of psych, but it's all psych. There's some deep elements, there's some almost folk elements, some kind of blues elements, but throughout the whole thing there's just some smoke and guitar. It is, oh my gosh, it's fantastic. India Slumber and Ocean Song are two just fantastic tracks, and then Source You Blues is the kind of more bluesy track, but the guitar work on it is just amazing. So good. This is like 69 or 70. I can't remember the year of release on this. This is a little bit rare. It goes for a little bit of money online, but they are out there. And apparently there is a poster that came with this. Unfortunately, this did not have the poster, but it's apparently pretty psych in nature. That would have been cool. But overall, really happy to find this. This was kind of, couldn't believe it was there, and it was one of those like, oh, the vinyl vibe.
Yeah.
I was just reading about it and it shows up. So
we'll try to get back to you guys with a lot more finds, because this dude did Tommy B shopping.
Dollar bills.
All right, everybody. You should be. You should be. All right, so I think that's it for this time. So until next time, we'll see you at the record store. Avoid scratches and stay in the groove.
Jesus is just alright.